Hi YouTube world, thanks for tuning back in. Today I have a vinyasa flow sequence planned for you and it'll be quite challenging. We're gonna throw in a little bit of inversion, some arm balancing, and a bit of transitioning from arm balance to arm balance, inversion to arm balance. It's gonna be some good stuff. So go ahead, get ready for our class today. Get your mat ready. Optional, you can have 2 blocks with you. If you don't have blocks, that's also okay. We'll have a good practice anyway. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So today we're gonna start standing at the front of the mat, bringing the feet together, big toes touch. Heels can be a little bit apart, no problem. Okay, standing tall, relax your arms, relax your shoulders, drawing the lower belly in just slightly and taking a few deep breaths in and out through the nose here. Every time you're breathing in, try to take deeper, fuller breaths in through your nose. And every time you exhale, empty every last drop of air out of your nostrils. And start to listen to the sound of your breathing. Inviting that ujjayi breath, that ocean-sounding breath. All right, start to gently open your eyes. Take an inhale, reach your arms all the way up towards the ceiling. Let your palms touch as you look toward your hands. And then exhale, begin to fold forward. Bring your fingertips towards the ground. And then inhale, look forward. Take a halfway lift, lengthen your spine. And then as you exhale, fold the chest down and towards your legs. Let's do that 2 more times. Take an inhale, look forward, and lengthen your spine nice and slow. Exhale, fold the chest in towards the legs, nice and slow. 1 more time, inhale, look forward, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward, chest into the legs. Okay, now stay here for a few more deep breaths. If the back side of the legs are feeling a bit tight at this moment, you can bend the knees a bit. This is totally fine. But just try your best to relax your neck. Let your head hang heavy. Relax the lower back, upper back. Relax all the muscles in your face. All right, on your next inhale, look forward and take that halfway lift again. And now as you exhale, place your hands on the mat, shoulders distance apart, and then step your feet to the back of the mat for a plank pose. So here we want to stack the shoulders right on top of the wrist, draw in your lower belly, engage your thighs. And then as you exhale, send your hips back to downward facing dog. Okay, next inhale, let's come forward again into that plank pose with the shoulders over the wrist. Draw in your belly, push the palms down into the ground. Exhale, shift the hips back to downward facing dog. Okay, 1 more time. Inhale, come forward nice and slow, back into your plank. Now allow your shoulders to shift forward a little bit more and exhale, bend your elbows, come down halfway for Chaturanga or all the way down to your mat. Okay, flip the feet and as you inhale, straighten your arms. Lift the chest, keep the legs strong so the thighs might even come off the ground. And then as you exhale, squeeze in your belly, curl the toes onto the mat, send your hips back to downward facing dog. Take 3 deep breaths here, slow and steady breathing. Look in the direction of your legs so that the back part of your neck is long. Okay, now from here, lift the heels, look forward, and start to walk to the front of your mat. Let your big toes touch, and then inhale, look forward. Take your halfway lift. And as you exhale, fold deeper, chest towards the legs. Next inhale, come all the way to standing. Reach your hands to the ceiling. Look up at your hands. And exhale, relax your arms by the sides. Again, inhale, take your arms all the way up. Look up. Exhale, fold forward and bring your hands towards the ground. Inhale, looking forward. Take that halfway lift. Exhale, place your hands on the ground. This time you can walk or jump back to your plank. And bend your elbows into Chaturanga. Inhale, let's lift the chest, upward facing dog. And as you exhale, toes on the floor, hips sending back to downward facing dog. Let's take 3 deep breaths here, slow and steady breathing. Two more breaths. And 1. All right, lift the heels. Look forward. This time you can walk or hop lightly to the front of your mat. Inhale, look forward. Take your halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward, chest into the legs. Okay, next inhale, come all the way to standing, reaching your arms up. Look up, stretch up. Exhale, relax your arms by the sides. Okay, next inhale, let's bend the knees, reach the hands up, coming into our chair pose, Utkatasana. Sit a little lower and reach the arms a little higher. Take an inhale. Exhale, fold forward, bring your fingertips towards the ground. Inhale, look forward, halfway lift, big breath in. Exhale, hands on the ground, and again, you can walk or jump back. Elbows bend. Inhale, lift your chest, upward facing. And exhale to downward facing dog. Take a nice deep breath here. All right, on your next inhale, reach your right leg up and back behind you towards the ceiling. Keep the right leg straight, even if it's not very high, that's okay. But keep that leg straight and strong. Now lift the left heel as high as you can. Exhale, bring your right knee toward your nose. Round the back, squeeze in your belly. Now flex the right foot, gently step it up in between your hands. Okay, keep the hips nice and low. Take an inhale, reach your arms forward and up, coming into our high lunge position. Okay, so here I want to keep the back heel lifted, left thigh engaged, belly drawing in. Take an inhale, reach the fingertips a little bit higher. Now as you exhale, bring your fingertips down at the front of the mat. Okay, now start to see if you can straighten out the right leg. And if it does not straighten, I will bring my blocks under my hands for a little bit of assistance. Okay, on your next inhale, re-bend that right knee, sink the hips low, look forward, and exhale, re-straighten that right leg. Again, inhale, bend the right knee, look forward, lift your chest, and exhale, re-straighten that right leg. One more time, inhale, re-bend the right knee, look forward, lift the chest, and exhale, straighten the leg, stay here. This time, feel free to start folding the chest down towards the right leg, if that feels good in your body. If the hands do reach the ground, then you can remove your blocks if you're using them. Okay? Allow your chest to keep folding, folding, folding. 3 deep breaths. 2. And 1. Okay, next inhale, re-bend the right knee. Look forward. Okay, exhale, place your hands on the ground. Send your right leg back, but don't let it touch the floor. Single leg plank. Bend your elbows, single leg chaturanga. Inhale, both feet on the ground as we lift the chest, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a nice deep breath. Next inhale, that left leg is going to stretch up towards the ceiling. Keep the leg straight. Keep the leg strong. Now lift your right heel as high up as you can. And exhale, bring your left knee forward towards your nose. Squeeze in the belly, round the back. Flex your left foot. Gently step it up in between your hands. Now let's sink the hips low. Take an inhale and reach your arms forward and up, back into our high lunge position. Okay, again, my back heel is lifted, my right thigh engaged. Draw the belly in. Take an inhale, reach the arms a little bit higher. And then exhale, bring your fingertips down towards the mat. Okay, now here again, if you want to put those blocks under your hands, that's totally up to you. You can do that now. And then begin to straighten the left leg as much as you can. Inhale, rebend that left knee. Look forward, lift the chest. And exhale, straighten that left leg. Inhale, bend the left knee, look forward. Exhale, straighten. All right, one more time. Inhale, let's bend the left knee, look forward. And then exhale, straighten, and this time we stay here. Option to start folding the chest down in towards the left leg even more. Getting deeper into this fold, deeper into this stretch. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, next inhale. Lift the head, look forward, rebend your left knee. And then exhale, send the left leg back, but don't let it touch the ground. Single leg plank. Bend your elbows, single leg chaturanga. Inhale, both feet on the ground. Chest lifting, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a nice deep breath here. All right, now on the next inhale, let's lift both heels again, look forward. Walk or jump to the front of your mat. And then exhale, fold the chest into the legs. Right, now next inhale, bend the knees again, reach the arms up, come into chair pose, Utkatasana. Now as you exhale, keep that chair in the legs, but bring your hands to your heart. Turn your chest to the left, hook your right elbow outside of the left leg. Squeeze both your legs in towards each other. Push the right elbow into the left leg and look up. Take an inhale. And then exhale, fold forward. Bring your hands towards the ground. Okay, next inhale, rebend the knees. Reach the arms again. Come back into chair pose. Exhale, hands to the heart. Turn to the right and bring your left elbow outside of the right leg. Push down into the leg. Look up and breathe. Take an inhale. And then exhale, fold forward, hands towards the ground. Okay, inhale, look forward, halfway lift. Exhale, hands on the ground. You can walk or jump back to plank. Elbows bending, Chaturanga. Inhale, lift the chest for upward facing dog. And exhale, we're in downward facing dog. Take a deep breath. All right, next inhale, stretch your right leg up and back to the ceiling again. Lift your left heel. And then exhale, take your right knee in towards your nose, round the back, and step the right foot up in between your hands. Okay, next inhale, let's reach the arms forward and up, coming back into this high lunge position. And now as you exhale, spin your left heel to the right a bit, so your whole left foot is on the ground, and then open the arms out for warrior 2. Look towards your right fingertips. Keep that right knee bending. Press the outer edge of the left foot down into your mat. Take a deep breath. Okay, now let's straighten out the right leg and start to reach your right fingertips forward, 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 and then down. You can place the hand on the leg, the ankle, or all the way down onto the mat. Left arm reaching up, and I'm looking up towards my left fingertips for triangle pose, Trikanasana. Allow both your shoulders to be stacked on top of the right leg. So it almost feels a little bit like I'm spinning my chest up towards the ceiling. All right, now on the next inhale, come all the way up with your torso. Bring your hands to your hips. And then exhale, spin your right toes in so that both feet are parallel. and I'm facing the left edge of my yoga mat. Take an inhale here, just to breathe into that chest, lift the spine. Okay, now as you exhale, bring your hands down onto the mat, if possible, in line with your feet. Inhale, look forward, halfway lift. Okay, now exhale. We're gonna bend at the elbows, place the top of the head towards the mat or on the mat if you can. Okay, here we have the option to just stay, fold, enjoy the stretch. Or we have the other option to press the hands down into the mat. Start to see if the heels can come off the mat and maybe lifting up into our tripod headstand, sending your toes up to the ceiling. Breathe here. Keep pushing with your hands. Try to keep your elbows at a 90-degree angle. Okay, if you're in the tripod headstand, start to slowly open the feet out and bring the feet back onto the mat. Now inhale together, let's lift the head, lengthen the spine. Okay, exhale, we're gonna walk the hands towards the front of the mat. Okay, lift the left heel, bend the right knee. Press the left hand down into the mat, turn the chest to the right, and then stretch your right arm up to the ceiling, coming into a twist. Keep pushing down through the left hand, and then allow your chest to spin up towards the ceiling. Keep your left thigh engaged so that back leg is straight and strong. Take one more inhale. Okay, exhale, bring your right hand down. Okay, now lower the left knee, and then shift the hips forward and bring both hands on top of the right leg. Okay, keep thinking about shifting the hips forward. So we're gonna feel this stretch on the front side of the left hip. Squeeze in the belly and then take an inhale, reach your arms up. And then as you exhale, see if you can reach your hands back. Inhale, think about lifting the chest up to the ceiling. Exhale, reach your hands back. Take one more inhale here. Okay, exhale, bring your fingertips down to the ground. Keep that left knee, that back knee on your mat. Start to shift your hips back, back, back. The right leg will straighten, and I'm gonna point my right toes up towards the ceiling. Okay, and here again, if this leg won't straighten, I might put blocks under my hands if I need to. Okay, take an inhale here. And then exhale, option to fold the upper body down towards the right leg. A few deep breaths here, stretching into the back side of that right leg. For 3. For 2. And 1. Okay, inhale, lift the head, look forward. And then exhale, walk your hands forward. Lift the back knee, rebend your right knee, and then step your right foot back to plank. Bend your elbows, Chaturanga. Inhale, lift the chest, upward facing. Exhale to downward facing dog. And take a nice deep breath here. In and out through your nose. All right, take an inhale, stretch that left leg up and back towards the ceiling. Keep the leg straight and strong. Lift the right heel. Exhale, left knee forward towards your nose. Squeeze the belly. Step your left foot up in between the hands. Okay, next inhale, we're gonna reach the arms forward and up, back into high lunge position. And then exhale, spin your right heel to the left, open the arms out, so we're coming into our warrior 2. Okay, keep that left knee bending. Keep pushing the outer edge of the right foot down into the mat. Sink the hips low. Take one more inhale. Now exhale, straighten the left leg. Reach your left hand forward, forward and down. Again, I can put my hand on my leg, ankle, or on the ground as I reach my right arm up towards the ceiling for triangle, Trikanasana. Look towards your right hand. And breathe here. 3 deep breaths. 2 breaths. And 1. Okay, next inhale, slowly come all the way up to standing. Exhale, bring your hands to your hips. Now spin the left toes in so that both my feet are parallel, and now I'm facing the right edge of my mat. Take an inhale, exhale, fold forward, hands on the mat, shoulders distance apart. Inhale, lift the chest for a moment, and then exhale, bend your elbows. Place the head down onto the mat, getting ready for tripod headstand number 2. Push the hands into your mat, option to stay here, or start to see if we can lift the feet with control up towards the ceiling. Keep pushing down with your palms. Remember the elbows are at a 90-degree angle. For 3, for 2, and 1. Start to open the feet out and gently place the feet back down on the mat. Inhale, lift the head, look forward for a moment. Now exhale, start to walk your hands towards the front of the mat. Lift the right heel, rebend the left knee. Okay, now I'm gonna push my right hand down into the mat, turning the chest to the left, and reach my left arm up to the ceiling for a twist. Breathe here. Left knee is bending, right thigh is engaged, and I wanna spin my chest up towards the ceiling. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, look down, bring your left hand to the ground, and lower the right knee on the mat. Okay, start to push your hips forward, and bring both hands on top of the left leg. Okay, keep the chest lifted as you shift the hips forward, forward, forward. And then inhale, reach your arms forward and up for our low lunge. Draw in your belly. As you inhale, lift up with your chest. And as you exhale, reach your hands back. Again, inhaling, lift up with your chest. Exhale, palms back. Take one more inhale. And exhale, we'll bring the hands to the ground. Okay, we'll start to shift the hips back. Straighten out the left leg and let your left toes point up towards the ceiling. So we're flexing this left foot. Option to have blocks under your hands if necessary. Take an inhale. And exhale, fold the chest down over the left leg. Focus on the breathing. Breathing in and out through your nose. 3 more deep breaths. 2. And 1. Okay, let's inhale. Lift the head, look forward. And exhale. Walk the hands forward a bit. Rebend your left knee. Lift the right knee. Step back to plank. And elbows bend, Chaturanga. Inhale, lift the chest, upward facing dog. Exhale, we're in downward facing dog. Slow and steady breathing, take a nice deep breath. Okay, now on the next inhale, we're gonna shift our body weight forward into a plank pose. So my shoulders on top of the wrist. Now as I exhale, I'm gonna push down with my left hand, drop both heels to the left and reach the right arm up for a side plank. I can either stay here in my side plank, or if I want a little more challenge, I'll lift the right leg up towards the ceiling and maybe catch the right big toe with my right hand. I'm gonna keep kicking my right leg up and breathe. Okay, release the toe if you have it. Let's all bend the right knee and step the right foot behind you, under your hips, onto the ground for a wild thing. I'm gonna push my hips and chest to the ceiling, drop my head back as I reach my right arm towards the front of the mat. 3, push down with your left hand. 2, breathe into your chest. And 1. Okay, from here, straighten your left leg and left arm. Send your right leg back on top of the left leg, side plank. 1 inhale. Now exhale, bring your right knee towards your chest and then gently step your right foot up on the inside of your left hand. Back heel's gonna lift on its own. Okay, next inhale, both arms rise up, high lunge position. And then exhale, spin that back heel down. We're coming back into a warrior two. Take a nice deep breath. Okay, from here, I'm gonna place either my right elbow on the right thigh or my right hand on the inside of the foot. The other option is I can place a block under my right hand and then stretch my left arm forward in a diagonal position with the palm facing down, side angle pose. Looking towards my left fingertips, and I'm breathing. So as I push down with my left foot, I'm reaching forward with my left hand so that the whole left side of my body gets really, really long. All right, now I'm gonna wrap the left arm behind me by my lower back. I'm gonna take my right hand, bring it under my right leg and reach back. See if my hands can connect. Okay, now from here, I wanna look up at the ceiling and breathe. So my hands are binding, and I wanna lift my upper body just a little bit so that I'm not dumping all the weight into my right leg. All right, now look down at the mat, okay, and then gently step your left foot forward. Might take a few steps to get there. And put all the weight into your left foot. Lift your right heel. Start to lift the chest, and then see if you can stand on your left foot and bring that right leg up with you. Bird of paradise. Fix your eyes on one spot, and then start to see if you can extend the right leg. If the right leg will not straighten today, that's okay. See what you can do. Okay, let's rebend the right knee, and then gently step your right foot back down on the yoga mat. Okay, once the right foot is down, we can release the hands, release the bind. If you were using a block before, just move it to the side. Relax your whole upper body. You can even hold your opposite elbows and maybe sway the upper body side to side. Okay, release your elbows. Okay, place your palms on the mat at the front of the mat. Shoulders distance apart. We're gonna get ready for crow pose, Bakasana. So here I want to have my feet a little bit away from the hands. I don't wanna be too close to the hands, so step back a bit, lift the heels. Bend your elbows so the elbows point towards the back of the mat and start to bring the knees towards the armpits. Keep lifting the head, gaze forward slightly. Hips stay lifted, and then see if one foot comes off the mat. Maybe 2 feet come off the mat. Hold 3, hold 2, and 1. Walk or jump back to Chaturanga. Inhale, lift the chest for upward facing. Exhale, we're in downward facing dog. Take a nice deep breath here. Okay, next inhale, we're coming forward back into our plank pose. Shoulders on top of the wrist. Exhale, push down with the right hand. Drop the heels to the right and send your left arm up for that side plank. Again, I can keep my feet where they are, or I can start to lift the left leg towards the ceiling, maybe catching the left big toe with my left hand. I want to keep thinking about kicking the foot up as I push my right hand down. 3, 2, and 1. Release the big toe if you have it. Bend your left knee and then step your left foot behind you, under your hips onto the mat or ground. Now push your chest and hips to the ceiling and stretch your left arm towards the front of the mat. For a wild thing, 3 breaths. Push down with your right hand. 2 breaths. Breathe into your chest. And 1. Okay, right leg straight, right arm straight. I'm gonna place that left leg back on top of the right for a side plank. Take the left knee to the chest and then step the left foot to the inside of the right hand. Back heel will lift on its own, okay? Now inhale, both arms rise. I'm back in my lunge position. Exhale, spin that back heel down, open out the arms, warrior 2. Take a deep breath. Okay, getting ready for side angle pose, Parshvakonasana. Take your left elbow on top of the thigh, or left hand on the inside of the foot on the mat or a block. Right arm reaches forward diagonally, and I'm gazing towards the right hand. Keep pushing down through the outer edge of the right foot, reaching forward with the right fingertips so the whole right side of the body gets really long. Now let's wrap the right arm behind the lower back, and with the left hand, reach under the leg and see if the hands can connect for a bind. Now turn the chest up towards the ceiling, look at the ceiling. Lift the upper body a little bit so that we're not dumping all the weight into the leg. All right, now look down at the mat, and the right foot gently steps forward towards the front. Now we're gonna put all the weight in the right foot, lift the left heel, and then start to stand on the right leg, lift your chest, bird of paradise. Again, fix the gaze on one spot, and then start to extend that left leg as much as you can. Maybe it's straight, whoop. Maybe it's not. Maybe we lose our balance. All right, but see what you can do. 3 breaths wherever you're at. 2 breaths. And 1. Okay, rebend that left knee. Place the left foot gently back on your mat. Release your bind. Fold forward. Relax the whole entire upper body. Feel free to hold your elbows. Sway the body side to side. Let your head hang heavy. Neck relaxed. Release the elbows. Hands on the mat. Feet back a little bit. Getting ready for that second round of crow pose, Bakasana. Okay, elbows bend. Knees towards armpits. Hips stay lifted. 1 or 2 feet off the mat. Keep pushing down with the hands, lifting up through the hips. 3, 2, and 1. Walk or jump back. Chaturanga. Inhale, chest lifting, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a nice deep breath. Okay, now lift the heels, look forward. We're gonna have a seat, so you can either walk or jump, cross your ankles, and pull the feet through. Okay, now if you have blocks with you, it'll make this much easier. If you don't, then you're in for a challenge, which is also okay. So I'm gonna place the blocks on the mat next to my thighs, right next to my legs. So I actually don't want it right next to my hips, but a little bit more forward. It's more like next to my legs. If you don't have blocks, you can also take maybe a book or 2, stack it like they were blocks. Just make sure that the 2 sides are the same height. If you're not using anything, that's okay. You're gonna have your hands on the mat, and it'll be a little bit more challenging, but that's okay. Okay, so we're gonna do 3 rounds of boat pose, Navasana, and in between the 3 rounds, we're gonna push into our prop and lift the whole body up. Okay, so let's just go ahead and do this together. Start with the knees bent, arms forward, parallel. Lean the chest back a bit and lift your feet up. Option to straighten the legs if you have the energy. Hold 5 breaths. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, cross the ankles, hands on the blocks or books. Now lift your hips up and gently sit back down. Second one. 1, 2, 3. Point the toes. 4, and 5. Okay, cross the legs, lift yourself up and down. Last one. 1, let's get right into it. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Cross the legs, lift everything up. Now stay up here for 3, 2, and 1. Gently sitting down. Okay, let's set the blocks to the side. I hope that was fun for you. Okay, now from here, we're gonna cross the legs. Walk the hands forward. And just coming onto hands and knees, tabletop position. Okay, so have the hands about shoulders distance apart, knees, hips distance apart. Okay, from here, I'm gonna straighten the right leg behind me. Lift the right foot. Squeeze in the belly. Make sure both your arms are straight. Okay, now bend your right knee. Press your right heel to the ceiling. Reach your left hand back and catch the ankle or the foot. Once you have a good grip on the foot, we're going to start to kick the right foot up and back, gaze forward. Keep kicking the foot back, gaze forward. Take one more inhale. And exhale, gently release. Bring your hand to the mat, knee to the mat. Change sides, okay? Straighten the left leg. Lift it up. Draw in your belly. Bend the left knee. Push the left heel towards the ceiling. Reach your right hand back. Catch the foot or the ankle. And then kick the foot up and back. Gaze forward. Kick your left foot up and back. Keep gazing forward. Breathing. One more inhale. Kick a little higher. Exhale, gently release. Right hand down. Left knee down. Big toes touch. Sit back towards your heels. Crawl your fingers forward. Bring your head to the ground. Take a child's pose. You can either keep the arms straight, stretching out the shoulders, or relax your arms and shoulders. It's really up to you. Either way, slow the breathing down. All right, let's go ahead and lift the head. And when you're ready, let's just meet back in downward facing dog. Okay, take a nice deep breath in your down dog. Okay, now on the next inhale, we're gonna take that right leg up and back towards the ceiling. Keep the leg lifted. Bend your right knee and point the knee at the ceiling. And stretch your right toes to the left side of the room. Now lift your left heel. As you exhale, slowly bring your right knee forward towards your right armpit. And then step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Okay, see if you can kind of scoot your left foot back a little bit so the hips really sink low. And then option to bring your elbows down onto the mat for lizard pose. Or elbows can also be on blocks if they don't reach the mat. Keep the left thigh engaged so the left knee stays lifted. A few deep breaths here. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, bring the palms back to the yoga mat and then step the right leg back to plank. Elbows bending, Chaturanga. Inhale, we lift the chest upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, next inhale, take your left leg up and back towards the ceiling. Exhale, bend the left knee, point your left knee at the ceiling, and reach your left toes towards the right side of the room. Lift the right heel, inhaling. Exhale, bring your left knee towards your left armpit and step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Okay, scoot your right toes back a little bit. And then from here, we can start to take the elbows down onto the mat or elbows onto yoga blocks. Okay. Breathing here. Keep that right leg straight, right thigh engaged so the knee doesn't touch the ground. Focus on the breathing for just 3 more deep breaths. 2 more deep breaths. 1. Okay, next inhale, bring your hands back onto the mat. And then exhale, send your left leg back to plank. Bend the elbows, Chaturanga. Inhale, chest lifting, upward facing. And exhale, we're back in downward facing dog. Take a deep breath. Okay, lift the heels, look forward. We're gonna get ready to sit. So again, you can walk or jump, cross the ankles. Have a seat. Okay, so now we're gonna work into a little bit of a challenging posture. Okay, so this will be an arm balancing transition. So the first posture that we're gonna take is called Ashtavakrasana, which I actually have a tutorial specifically just on that, and I'll include a link here. Make sure to take a look if you're curious of all the little details that go into it, okay? And then from that pose, we're actually gonna transition into another arm balancing posture that is called Koundinyasana 2. And that posture for me actually feels super tricky because it does require quite a bit of flexibility in the legs, specifically on the back side of the legs and the inner thighs, which are also parts that we've been working on throughout this sequence. So hopefully our bodies should be warmed up enough to do those two postures together. Okay, so I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like. You're also welcome to practice along with me now, or you can watch first, pause, and then try it on your own. Okay, so this is how I'm gonna get started. I'll start seated. I'll start with my right side, so my right leg. Okay, I'm gonna bend my right knee. Okay, lift my right knee onto my shoulder. Squeeze the leg in as much as I can. Okay, my hands are on the mat. I lift my hips, cross at the ankles. I'm gonna kick my feet to the right, straighten the legs, bend my elbows. Here is my Ashtavakrasana. Okay, transition time, push into the hands. Okay, I'm gonna unhook the legs, bend my left knee, and I'm gonna send my left leg back without touching the ground. Both legs are straightening as much as I can. I'm looking forward. Okay, now to get out of here into Chaturanga, I lift my left foot more, kick the right foot back. Inhale, chest is lifting. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, so if you want to try that again on the right side, you can pause the video, give it a try, and then come back and we'll do the left side together. Okay, so here we go. Left side, we start seated. The left side is definitely my weaker side, so let's see how this goes. All right, I'm gonna bend my left knee, bring my left knee onto my left shoulder, and squeeze the leg in as much as I can. My hands are on the ground, and I'm gonna lift the hips, cross at the ankles, and then kick my feet towards the left, elbows bending for my Ashtavakrasana. Okay, getting ready to transition. I lift the hips, I bend my right knee, I'm gonna send the right leg back, trying to keep both legs straight. I lift my right leg even higher, and I'm gonna transition to Chaturanga. Left leg back. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, so if you wanna give that a try again on the left leg, go ahead and hit pause, and then come back when you're ready. All right, so another fun transition that we can do, also involving Ashtavakrasana, is starting from a tripod headstand, which we did earlier at the beginning of our sequence. From there, transitioning into the Ashtavakrasana, which I actually find very challenging. So I'll show you how I do that, and you can give it a try. Okay, so if you want more specific tips on the tripod headstand, I have another video that focuses specifically on that. I'll include a link somewhere here. Make sure you take a look if you're interested in that. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna start in my tripod headstand. Hands on the ground, head on the ground. And take the entry of your choice. So you can jump into it, kick into it, lift into it, whatever works for you. Okay, so once we're in the tripod, We want to make sure the hands are really pushing down strongly. Okay, I'm going to take my knees into my chest, getting into this tuck position. Okay, now my left foot is going to go under my right elbow, sorry. I'm going to cross at my ankles, and I'm going to lift my head gently. Ashtavakrasana. Okay. So the tricky part for me in that transition is bringing the leg under my elbow, because a lot of times there's not a lot of room there, so my foot starts to crash into the ground. So I really have to focus on the movement of that leg. Okay, so you can give it a try. Hit pause if you need to. Okay, and now we're gonna do the other side. Okay, working on my other leg. Again, this is probably the trickier side for me, but you gotta do both. Okay, hands on the ground. Find my tripod. And then I find the entry of my choice. Maybe this time I'll go up with straight legs. Okay, once I'm in the tripod, I bend my knees. Come into a tuck, squeezing the belly. Now, thinking about right foot going under the left elbow. Go in, go in, go in. Both legs to the side, cross the ankles. Push into the floor. Lift the head. Don't fall down. Okay, that side is not as graceful. Okay? But just work with it. It's not a transition that I do very often, so I'm not surprised that it's a little bit wonky, but practice will make a difference. So if you start to include this in your practice, start working on it consistently, you'll be amazed at the progress that you can make. And of course, you know, with all these challenging postures, we want to make sure that we don't get too attached, right, to making them perfect, right? But just enjoy the process and see what you learned, okay? If you want to try that again, go ahead and pause me, do it again, and come back when you're ready. Okay, so if you're still with me, we're going to go ahead and lie down on our backs, which you know it means we're coming towards the end of our practice now. Come all the way down. Okay, bend the knees, feet on the ground. Lift your hips a little bit, just enough, so that we can slide the hands underneath our bodies. Now sit onto your wrist, and then move your knees side to side like windshield wipers. Massaging the wrist, massaging the hands. You can move the position of your hands if you need to, until you find the more comfortable spot. Okay, bring the knees back to center. Release the hands out from underneath you. Keep the feet on the ground, and we'll just take one bridge pose. Inhaling, lift the hips, send your hips nice and high. Bring the hands underneath the body, maybe tucking the shoulders to the center a bit more. Keep pressing the feet down into the ground as you lift your hips higher. Take a few deep breaths. 3, 2, and 1. Release your hands. Lower the back onto the mat. Hug your knees into your chest and move a little bit side to side. All right, bring your knees back to center. We'll take a happy baby. So the hands are holding the outer edges of the feet. Allow your feet and your knees to be pretty wide, wider than hips distance. And pull down on the feet. And you can even rock your baby side to side. Okay, bring your baby back to center and hug your knees into your chest. And this time we're going to squeeze every muscle in the body. So see if you can take your forehead towards your knees. Squeeze the fingers and the toes and the arms and the legs and the face muscles, belly muscles, butt muscles, and take a big inhale. Exhale, relax, release. Come into Shavasana, our final resting pose. Allow your whole body to be completely relaxed. Allow your eyes to close. returning to your natural way of breathing. Allow your whole entire body to melt down into the ground. Allow your mind to be completely empty of thoughts. Give yourself permission to enjoy this present moment, to observe the sensations in your present body, to observe your breath as is. Start to bring your awareness back to your breath. And gently wiggle your fingers and toes. Turn the head slowly from side to side. Reach your arms overhead and take one nice deep breath. Bend the knees. Roll to either side of the body. And when you're ready, gently sit up, finding a comfortable sitting position of your choice. Sitting up tall, shoulders relaxed. We'll end our class today by taking 3 deep breaths together. Take an inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, release the hands down. Again, inhaling, reaching the arms up. Exhale, release it down. One more, inhale, reach it up nice and high. Palms touch. Exhale, bring your hands in front of the heart. Close your eyes and bow your head. Take a moment to give yourself gratitude for showing up for your practice today, for choosing to spend a little bit of time with your body, with your breath, and treating yourself to this yoga practice. Observe this calmness that you've created. Observe this peace that you've created through your practice. Hold on to this feeling for as long as you can. Take it with you into the rest of your day, the rest of your week, and let nobody take that peace away from you. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.